Alright, I'm back, and as I promised in the last episode, we are going to be doing the Folio Universitas, which is the wizard cards.
Fulbert the Fearful, 1014 to 1097. Famous for being so cowardly he never ventured out of his house. Died when a defensive charm backfired and the roof fell in. Ethelred the Ever-Ready, medieval, dates unknown. Famous for taking offense at nothing and cursing innocent bystanders. Died in jail. Crispin Kronk, 1795 to 1872. Sent to Azkaban for continuing to keep sphinxes in his back garden despite repeated warnings. Edgar Struge, 1703 to 1798. Inventor of the sneakerscope. Oswald Beamish, 1850 to 1932. Pioneer of goblin rights.
No sec.
Norval Twonk, 1888 to 1957. Died saving a Muggle child from a runaway manticore. Posthumously awarded the Order of Merlin, First Class. Grogan Stump, 1770 to 1884. Popular Minister for Magic, appointed 1811. Glanmore Peaks, 1677 to 1761. Famous slayer of the sea serpent of Cromer. Wilfred Elphick, 1112 to 1199. First wizard to be gored by an African erumpent. Professor Amando Dippet, former headmaster of Hogwarts, circa 1940. Mungo Bonham, 1560 to 1659. Famous wizard healer. Founded St. Mungo's Hospital for Magical Maladies and Injuries. Zhu Yen, 4th century BC. Chinese alchemist. Falco Isolon, ancient Greek. The first recorded example of an animagus, he could transform himself into a falcon. Thaddeus Thurkel, 1632 to 1692. Famous for producing 7 squib sons and turning them all into hedgehogs in disgust. Harry Potter, the boy who lived. Beatrix Bloxham, 1794 to 1810. Author of The Toadstool Tales, a series of children's books since banned because they have been found to cause nausea and vomiting. Dymphna Firmage, 1612 to 1698. Famously abducted by pixies while on holiday in Cornwall and lived in mortal dread of them thereafter. Failed to persuade the Ministry of Magic to have all pixies humanely destroyed. Honoria Nutcombe, 1665 to 1743. Founded the Society for the Reformation of Hags. Gwendolen the Weird, medieval, dates unknown. Alleged to have enjoyed being burnt at the stake so much that she allowed herself to be captured 47 times in various disguises.
She actually looked kind of hot, but that's just my opinion.
Jocunda Sykes, 1915 to the present. Famous for flying across the Atlantic on a broomstick, the first person to do so. Carlotta Pinkstone, 1922 to the present. Famous campaigner for lifting the International Confederation of Wizards' Statute of Secrecy and telling Muggles that wizards still exist. Ms. Pinkstone has been imprisoned several times for her blatant and deliberate use of magic in public places. Dorcas Wellbeloved, 1812 to 1904. Founder of the Society for Distressed Witches. Elfrida Clag, 1612 to 1687. Chieftainess of Warlock's Council. Sasharissa Tugwood, 1874 to 1966. Pioneer of beautifying potions. Discovered pimple-curing properties of bubotuber pus.
She's also pretty hot.
Ignatia Wildsmith, 1227 to 1320. The witch who invented flu powder. Hesper Starkey, 1881 to 1973. Witch who studied the use of phases of the moon in potion making. Cleodne, medieval, dates unknown. Irish druidess who discovered properties of moon dew. Mirabella Plunkett, 1839 to unknown date. Famous for falling in love with a merman in Loch Lomond while on holiday. When her parents forbade her to marry him, she transfigured herself into a haddock and was never seen again. Morgan Le Fay, medieval, dates unknown. King Arthur's half-sister, dark sorceress, enemy of Merlin. Gunhilda of Gorsmore, 1556 to 1639. One-eyed, humpbacked witch, famous for developing a cure for dragon pox. Jocelyn Wadcock, 1911 to the present. Chaser for Puddlemere United Quidditch team. Record for highest number of goals during British season this century against Ballycastle Bats, 1931. Gwenog Jones, 1968 to the present. Captain and beater of only all-female national Quidditch team, the Holyhead Harpies. Cyprian Udall, 1312 to 1357. Only Quidditch referee ever to be killed during a match. The originator of the curse was never caught, but believed to have been a member of the crowd. Roderick Plumpton, 1889 to 1987. Seeker for England Quidditch team. Holds British record for fastest capture of snitch during game, 3.5 seconds. Bowman Wright, 1492 to 1560. Famous for developing the golden snitch. Sir Herbert Varney, 1858 to 1889. Short-lived, by undead standards, Victorian vampire who preyed upon women in London during the 1880s, was subsequently captured and killed by a special squad from the Department for the Regulation and Control of Magical Creatures. Amarillo Lestote, 1776 to 1977. Flamboyant American vampire, author of A Vampire's Monologue, intended to bore the reader into a stupor, making him or her easier prey for vampires. Lady Carmilla Sanguina, 1561 to 1757. Bathed in the blood of her victims to retain her youthful beauty.
She's also really hot.
Blodwyn Blood, 1923 to unknown. Known as the Vampire from the Valleys. Famous for singing to his victims in a sonorous bass baritone before biting their necks. Count Vlad Dracul, 1392 unknown. Notorious vampire who inspired the fictional Count Dracula created by Bram Stoker, father of Vlad the Impaler.
Actually, a bit of actual history. Vlad the Impaler is Vlad Dracul, and he did inspire Bram Stoker. But yeah, they're the same person. This isn't father-son.
Eogit the Ugly, goblin representative at 14th century summit of Wizards' Council. Olguff the Awful, foul-smelling goblin nuisance, well known throughout the goblin world for trying to sell phials of his sweat to a dung bomb manufacturer.